Students, in the continuation of Chapter 6, the Browning version by Terence Rattigan, we will study Part 6 today. In this video, we will learn about the arrival of Millie Crocker Harris. Millie Crocker. She was the wife of Mr. Crocker. She was young, she was smartly dressed, and she was wearing a cap. Millie Crocker Harris, Mr. Crocker Harris' wife, is a thin woman in her late 30s. She is very smartly dressed, unlike other schoolmasters' wives. She comes in unnoticed when Taplow and Mr. Frank were talking to each other. And that time when Millie Crocker Harris comes there, she was carrying a shopping basket in her hand. After seeing Mr. Frank, she greets him and Mr. Crocker Harris. Taplow was still imitating Mr. Crocker Harris that time when Mr. Frank noticed her and broke off suddenly. Taplow gets frantic and asks Mr. Frank if Millie Crocker Harris could have heard their conversation, because Taplow still wonders whether she has heard their conversation, because that time they were talking about Crocker Harris only. And as she was his wife, Mr. Crocker Harris' wife, and that's why they had fear whether she has heard their conversation or not. Mr. Frank thinks that she did, but Taplow fears that if she tells anything to Mr. Crocker Harris, then she will surely get a very bad result. And that is why it was a fear in the mind of Taplow. Now what will happen? He comes over there. Then Taplow wanted to go from there. But because of the fear of Mr. Crocker Harris, he was not ready to make a cut over there. Because if he just goes to play the golf, then he still fears what will happen. And Mr. Crocker Harris can also just follow him at his house. And that is why he was in fear. And after seeing his wife, he was also fearing whether she has heard their conversation or not. And if she tells it to her husband, then there will not be any chance to get Taplow's remove. Moreover, he could also get some extra punishment by Mr. Crocker Harris. And that's why Taplow wonders whether she has heard their conversation or not. Thank you and have a nice day.